guys, Mama Bear here. I know it's been a while since I had uploaded a video. I tend to do that a lot, and I'm very sorry. Not that many of you have really watched yet. But, so, just, things haven't gone so well, fertility-wise. Hubby and I have been trying for, about 2 years now. My OBGYN decided he no longer wants to try to help us. He seems a little judgmental due to my teeth. But I am getting taken care of that. But I think I said this in one of my videos before, but my grandmother has been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. She was getting chemo for a while, but they've decided it's no longer necessary. They gave her 2 years tops. My grandmother raised me pretty much my whole life. She means a lot to me, and I want her to know this grandbaby that we want to have. I want her to be able to hold them at least once. It would mean a great deal to me. So hubby and I have decided to quit bullshitting. Excuse my language. We decided to quit bullshitting. And we, sorry, I play with my hair a lot. I see it in here and it looks like shit, and I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting ready for bed. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. But, most of these videos are going to be on getting pregnant, infertility, the steps beyond normal stuff. I know that I'm overweight, and I know that'll play a part, and especially in a lot of women. I hope these videos help you, because just because you're overweight does not mean you are unhealthy. Just because you are overweight does not mean you're ugly. It doesn't mean anything. You can have a baby. Just because you have infertility problems, it's not because you're overweight. And don't you dare let a doctor say it is. Because I had doctors say, lose some weight and you'll be fine. So me gaining some weight caused my infertility when I've had 2 kids. It makes no sense. Sure, weight loss helps with fertility, but a lot of people say that losing weight is actually, you're less likely to get pregnant while you're losing the weight. It's more after. But either way, in my case, with PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, the insulin resistance can actually cause weight gain. I didn't start gaining weight until after I had my son and the preeclampsia, and apparently it sparked my PCOS that I didn't know I had. So you could be gaining weight because of your infertility problem. Like, it ties together. So don't let any doctor tell you this, because it is total BS. You're beautiful the way you are. No matter how heavy you are, you can have a baby. Alright, sorry for that rant. It's been on my mind a lot. You know, being us women, we tend to put ourselves down, and I'm honestly sick of that. I'm sick of being put down by myself and by other people. So, yeah, there's that rant. Sorry about that. I found a fertility specialist that I'm going to be going to. We decided we are going all the way. I made a few appointments with this person before, but I was chickened out, especially because this is all out of pocket. And that's hard. But we finally are financially stable, and we are, I decided that I'm going to be getting a job, and, yeah. So we decided we're going to go with the fertility treatments, and, thankfully I already skipped quite a few steps, because my OBGYN actually did a lot of the testing. He did all of my blood work and all that, and diagnosis. The fertility specialist might want to redo all that, and that's okay. But I'm hoping we can skip some steps, because I'm going as if I had no insurance, because there's like no insurance that'll cover fertility. I was under the impression Cigna did, but I guess it varies state to state. So so far I've printed out all my documents, and I'm gonna hand them all to him. All my ultrasounds I've had, everything. So I'm gonna try to skip some steps. So the money that I'm putting towards the fertility, the reason I want to skip steps is because, for one, sometimes they want to do unnecessary testing. Like, they want to be thorough, but if you already know the answer, move on. With everything being paid out of pocket, the attention is nice, even though it's like, it's hard to explain. Like, you're getting a lot of attention to get pregnant and stuff, and it feels nice. And sometimes you might want to go the extra steps and like make like 4 ultrasounds in a row to see if you ovulated. But in my opinion, or well, in my situation, I want to spend as less money as I can so that I can spend more money on getting ready for the baby. You know, buying all the cute baby stuff and, you know, that stuff. So I'm not gonna skip any steps, but if I could do less ultrasounds, then I'll do it. Things like that. But from my understanding and all the research I've done, this place is really wonderful. They're very kind. They're very caring. They love helping people get pregnant. And it's one doctor, and I cannot for the life of me pronounce his name. But I've chickened out quite a few times because, as I said, I have very bad teeth, and that is due to genetics, and I never brushed my teeth as a kid. And I only just now started getting in the habit. I'll be honest. It was hard to get into the habit because as a kid, you develop those habits as a kid. So it just kind of ingrained. But I never got that. Now, I know I'm worried about going to this doctor because my teeth. My OBGYN didn't want to help me get pregnant because of my teeth. He said it can cause heart problems for me. But thankfully it hasn't. My heart is very healthy. And it can cause low birth weight and early labor, which might explain why I had my daughter Callie a month early, just out of the blue. But I was also 17, so my body probably couldn't handle it. The reason I had my son early was due to preeclampsia, so it didn't quite have anything to do with my teeth. But I hope this doctor understands that I'm willing to take that risk. I know it seems selfish, but I really want my grandmother to meet this baby, especially if we have a girl, because my husband gave the okay that we can have the middle name Gloria, which is my grandmother's name, and that really excites me because my grandma means the world to me. And it upsets me to even talk about it. But that's why we're trying so hard now. That's why we're pushing it. We've been trying for 2 years, but it wasn't persistent. We took months off where we stopped temping and charting and just, calm down. But it didn't work. I did get pregnant a few months ago, but that ended with a early loss, and I haven't seemed to ovulate since. So this doctor, what I did is I'm giving him all my records before I actually see him in an appointment. Like, I'll go there and give them my records and then make the appointment. I actually wrote him a personal letter saying how I hope he is willing to help us. And I guess I'm worried that he's not. Like, I know it's his job, and he probably will, no matter what. no matter what his judgment is. But I don't want to sit there and just be judged the whole time that I'm trying to have a baby. Like with my OB. He was very judgmental. He wouldn't listen to me. He didn't even really believe that I had preeclampsia, because he wasn't my OB when I had my son. I was in a different state. And it's like he didn't believe me. And I've always had bad luck with doctors. With my son, they completely missed my preeclampsia. And I don't think they were able to miss it. I think they ignored it. Because for women who have had kids before, going into an OBGYN pregnant, you have to give a P cup every single time. And that's the first sign, is high blood pressure and protein in your urine. That's the first sign of preeclampsia. Well, she ignored it until one night I was bleeding out of the blue and went to the ER, and I was about to have a seizure because my blood pressure was so high. Like, they're like, why didn't you come in earlier? I was under the impression I was perfectly healthy. So, I'm weary. I'm super weary on doctors, especially with becoming pregnant. Not quite sure. Say hi, hubby.
Hi.
I'm not quite sure what to do about it. What?
Got my charger for 8 months.
Oh, you want to drive back? Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. Look, you're interrupting. Shoot. Now I'm not quite sure what I was saying, but I'll go back. Oh, I'm very weary of doctors. I've had bad luck with them. So, this OBGYN, he wasn't even gonna label me high risk. But if I was high risk last pregnancy, before they knew I had preeclampsia, then wouldn't I be high risk this time? It just makes sense. He put me I was put high risk because I had my daughter early, spontaneously, they call it. So I was considered high risk just for the fact of my teeth and because of they didn't want me to have another early baby. So I was on estrogen shots every week, which sucked. But hey, so he wasn't going to do that. He wasn't going to give me those, and they worked. They kept him in until I had to. But so I'm done with him. Not saying he's not a good doctor, but he's not attentive enough to my needs. And this time, and for anybody out there, if you feel like your doctor isn't listening to you, you either make him listen or you find a different doctor. Because it is not worth it to cut corners when it comes to doctors, especially getting pregnant and being pregnant. It is not worth the risk. So the fertility doctor, I wrote him a letter telling him that my teeth are bad and warning him ahead of time, like I do with most people. Just even if I'm leaving them, I have my husband warn them ahead of time my teeth are bad, so they're not like gawking at me. And they so I wrote a letter and I told him that I really hope it doesn't affect his judgment, because they have great plans. Like, for an IUI, it's $1,000. Just $1,000. You go in, you have your appointments. You do everything, and even if you need extra stuff, it's a package. It's guaranteed $1,000. And that's good. Like, their IVF in itself is actually like the cheapest I've ever found. So they're really awesome. And if I had to sit there and be judged, I will. But I want this process to be as less painful as possible. You know, going through fertility treatments is painful in itself. There's no way around that. Not always painful physically, but mentally. You know, the months that you don't ovulate, or the months that get a negative. At this point, I'll just be happy to ovulate. God, I say that weird. At that point, I'd just be happy for that because it's a step in the right direction. Paper? What paper? Oh, you need a piece of paper. Sorry about that. Copies are like kids.
Hi.
Here this week. Oh, in the jar over there. So I have all my sheets of paper and everything that I'm gonna hand to him ahead of time, so he knows my stuff, and we can just get right down to the point. Tell me about your guys' experience with fertility doctors, because the one I'm going to, I don't know if this is getting too personal, but it's about $135 a session, not counting like if they do procedures and stuff. And I that seems reasonable to me. It's like a regular doctor appointment if you didn't have insurance. If anything, doctor appointments are actually a little more expensive, so it's actually really nice. We have money set aside for it. But I was curious to all you who have gone through it already or are, what was your experience like? Like, what should I expect in terms of ultrasounds to see if I ovulate? Because my issue is I do not ovulate maybe once, twice a year. And that's super hard to predict because temping only tells you after, and honestly, 100 days of ovulation tests, not very fun. So tell me a little bit about your guys' experience, and I will continue telling you about mine as I go along. I will be making my appointment Thursday, and I'll tell you guys when it is, but every time I make the appointment, it tends to be about a month out, probably because, you know, he has people who come in at a specific time and it's always booked on those days, you know. That's my thing, I'm thinking. But what did you expect? Did your fertility specialist want you and force you, or not force you, but want you to ovulate on day 14 like a normal cycle, or was day 26 okay? I kind of hear little different things on babycenter.com, which is where I pretty much get all my information from other moms, which I'm actually going to do after this video too. I'm going to look that up. But let me know what goes on with you guys, and I hope my videos get out there to some people who need it, maybe overweight women with bad health, teeth, struggling with infertility, anything. Honestly, these videos are up for my personal use too, so I can go back in time and look at these, but it's also for other people who may need some advice, who may need help, or just a little bit of hope, honestly. If my videos can at least make one person smile or feel better about themselves, then that would just be worth it for me. I know my videos are super amateur. I'm currently using my computer, which has worse graphics than my last. I'm hoping I can get a camera at some point, but yeah, we'll see. With the fertility treatments, camera might have to wait. So maybe when I get pregnant, I'll get a camera, and you can be sure that I will have a full blog of my pregnancy. This pregnancy is going to be super fun. I have friends to help me this time. I have a great support system this time around. And my husband, this will be our first together, and he's super excited, and he's the sweetest thing ever, and I just know that this pregnancy is going to be fun. I say that now, but watch, I'm going to get like the worst morning sickness ever and have like a horrible pregnancy, physically. But let's hope not. My first pregnancies, my two were pretty easy other than the preeclampsia. Like, other than that, they were breedings. So, we'll see. So, let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, negative comments, I don't care. I am who I am. I love who I am. You should love yourself too. Fertility treatments suck, but how about we do it together? Alright, thanks for watching.